I decided to get the RadCity 5 Plus after spending weeks researching electric commuter bikes. I live in a busy urban area where traffic is constant, and I wanted something that could help me get to work, run errands, and enjoy weekend rides, all without arriving sweaty or exhausted. What attracted me to this bike was the mix of features, brand reputation, and what seemed like good value for the money. I had read a lot about rad power bikes being reliable, and the 750-watt motor sounded promising for the kind of mild hills I face. The built-in rear rack and front suspension fork also made it look more practical for city use. I'm not someone who needs top-tier specs, I just wanted something that works well and makes my life easier. Riding experience in the city. Once I started riding the RadCity 5 Plus, the first thing I noticed was how comfortable it felt. The upright riding position suits city traffic, and the handlebars are adjustable, so I found a position that didn't strain my back or wrists. The saddle is fairly padded, and although I've had softer ones before, I didn't feel sore after longer rides. The motor assistance kicks in smoothly. It doesn't jerk or startle me when it kicks on. On flat roads, the ride is quiet and easy, and I can cruise at around 18 to 20 miles per hour without much effort. The power feels strong enough for most situations. However, when I hit steeper hills, especially if I've got groceries on the rear rack, I do notice the motor starts to struggle a bit. It's not that it can't handle it just takes a bit longer and doesn't feel as powerful as I expected from a 750-watt motor. That said, I still get up those hills without having to walk the bike. Battery life and charging. Battery range has been decent for my needs. I ride about 5 to 8 miles each way during the week, and I only need to charge the battery every few days. On weekends, if I go on longer rides, I'll top it off beforehand just to be safe. I've never run out of battery unexpectedly, but I also don't push it to the limit. The battery is semi-integrated, which looks better than the old bulky style, but it's still a bit awkward compared to fully integrated designs I've seen on more expensive bikes. Taking the battery out for charging is easy enough, though I wish it felt more solid when clicked back in. It doesn't feel loose, but it could feel a bit more locked in, if that makes sense. Still, it works just fine, and I've had no problems with charging or battery behavior so far. Build quality and components. The bike feels sturdy overall. I've ridden through some rough city streets, hit curbs, and even gone over a few potholes, and the frame holds up well. Nothing rattles or feels cheap. The hydraulic disc brakes are excellent, very responsive and reliable even in wet weather. I trust them, which makes a big difference when riding in traffic. One small issue I've noticed is with some of the smaller parts. For example, the kickstand started loosening after a couple of weeks, and I had to tighten it myself. Not a big deal, but it makes me wonder how durable some components will be over the long term. Also, I wish the headlight was a bit brighter. It's okay for being seen, but not great for lighting up darker paths. Comfort and everyday use. From a comfort standpoint, I'm pretty happy. The suspension fork softens up the ride just enough for city potholes and cracked pavement. The tires handle a mix of road and light gravel well, which gives me confidence if I cut through parks or take shortcuts on bumpy paths. I do appreciate the rear rack. It feels solid and can handle quite a bit of weight. I use it with 10 airbags and they stay secure even on rough streets. The bike is fairly heavy, which I noticed most when I had to carry it up some steps. It's not a problem during rides, but if you live in an upstairs apartment, it might be something to consider. Also, due to the size and weight, it's not super nimble, but that's a trade-off for the stability it offers. Final thoughts after a few months. After using the RadCity 5 Plus regularly for several months, I feel like I made a solid choice. It's not perfect, but it's dependable. It gets me where I need to go without hassle, and I actually look forward to riding it instead of dreading the commute. There are some things I wish were slightly better, like stronger hill climbing power and a more polished battery design, but nothing that makes me regret the purchase. If you're someone who wants an everyday e-bike for commuting and errands, and you're okay with a bike that leans more toward practical than flashy, the RadCity 5 Plus is worth considering. Just know that it's more of a steady worker than a speed machine. And that's honestly what I want.